question for you. I've got a question for you. Where'd you get your name from? Where'd you get your name from? I've got a question for you. When do you see yourself in 5 minutes time?
I guess I've been putting this off long enough. Jason nominated me back, what was that, maybe a month back, I guess. I've been putting it off, trying to think of interesting, crafty, unique ways to go about doing the 7 questions. I can't come up with any. So I'm just going to get it done because I'm sure Jason's thinking, what the f is with that Vince? You know, I nominate him, he doesn't do it. Anyway, so let's not have it stay on as I didn't do it. So let's just get it done. I racked my brain for a while trying to figure out who I was going to nominate. We'll get to that at the end anyway. Sorry, I'm just monkeying around with something. It helps keep my keep the words flowing if my hands are moving doing something or another. So I just monkeying around with this bottle opener. You guys see a bottle opener? It's out of a railroad spike I made. Anyway, so yeah, thanks Jason. Jason Andrews, for any of you who have not watched his channel. We will, I'm sure I'll stick a link somewhere. Question 1. Why do I do YouTube? Why do I do YouTube? That's an interesting question, I guess, because I've always enjoyed, you know, working outside, working in the shop, and as the years went on, I had less and less things I wanted to do inside the house. And a number of years ago, I cut off television. I still got a TV, obviously. You know, I used to play Xbox 360, you know, shoot 'em up games and stuff like that. But it just seemed to me that time in front of the TV was often just time wasted. So, you know, why not put your hands and your mind to good use and do something with yourself. So why do I do YouTube? I do YouTube. It's kind of a funny question. It's kind of an outlet for me. I like a couple things about it. I like creating things. I like doing things. I'm not some crazy narcissist that thinks my face needs to be plastered all over the internet. I do it because I like videoing. I like, you know, the different aspects, the artistic aspects of video recording things, you know, different camera takes, which there's a camera take over there. I got 2 cameras going. Yeah, I don't do it to make money, that's for sure. You know, the odd one I monetize just because I want to see what happens and what the potentials are for earnings. I do have some friends who monetize quite regularly, and you know, they make a good little dollar at it, and you know, maybe that might be something I'll look at down the line, just as some retirement income, because believe it or not, I'm not actually all that far from retirement. So in the grand scheme of things, life goes by really quick, and retirement for me could happen in 10 to 15 years. So that's, no, it wouldn't be any later than 15 years, let's put it that way. So anyway, I do it because it's enjoyable to me. Where did my name come from? Where did my YouTube name come from? My YouTube name, well, I've had a number of different names, and this is kind of part and parcel with question number 3, but we'll stick to number 2. Where did it come from? Well, I live in Canada, and I live in the province of Manitoba, and I live in a very small, you can't even call it a town, you would call it maybe a hamlet, or I don't know what you would call this, but I live in a town called Bagot. A very, you know, a larger area here is also called Bagot, but I live in Bagot. Bagot Corner is kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke because a lot of people will say, well, where are you from? And you say BC. Well, to a lot of Canadians, BC is British Columbia, which is over on the west coast of Canada. All along, you're meeting, not so far west of Port La Prairie and about an hour and a half, hour and a quarter west of Winnipeg, Manitoba. So Bagot Corner, just it comes with Bagot Corner. It's kind of a homey, homespun kind of a name. I thought it was kind of folksy and kind of just fun to mess with. So Bagot Corner, that's where it came from. I live in Bagot. How long on YouTube? As Bagot Corner, I believe I have been here for 3 years. Not always doing this type of stuff, often doing quadding. Like you see, I do a lot of different stuff. I don't just stick with one thing. I do whatever kind of interests me. Different times of the year, I'll do more. Other times I'll do less. I'm really busy with work, I'll do less. If it's winter, I'll maybe do more in the shop. Summer, before it gets rolling, I gotta cut the grass twice a year. I'll do a little bit more. But where was I? How long on YouTube? Other channels, I have had a couple other names. So I go back. My YouTube experience goes back 8 years, actually. I'm not going to reveal those other channels because some of them are a little bit embarrassing. Because on a couple of them, couple videos, I sing and play guitar, and we're not going to get into those ones. Those are embarrassing. What do I record with? I keep this incredibly simple. iPhone. Today I got iPhone 6 running, and I record with iPhone 6. I do everything from slow-mo to photos to sped up video, time lapse, everything with iPhone. There's not a lot you can't do with the iPhone now. It's a superb to what? I don't know. Superb to video recorders from years past, probably not so much now, but I think the whole iOS system, the iPhones are more than suitable for this job. Okay. Do I make my own thumbnail? Do I make thumbnails? I make my thumbnails. I didn't used to. What I used to do was I would pick the 3 that YouTube would give you. Would pick one of those, or just let them pick it, and who cares, right? And just put it in the just put the name of the video in the description and or in the title, and that'd be about it. But then I kind of moved on from that to having just my logo and again the title. And what I found was viewers, I can even use myself as an example. I would tend to click on things, on thumbnails that were descriptive of the video contained within, and now that's gone completely awry, and people are basically just clickbaiting you into running their videos. They'll say something completely non-related to the video itself, like whatever, man falls from 20-story building, when it's really somebody just tripped over a stick in his yard. Just that kind of clickbait mentality, very frustrating. But I guess that's how people think they need to get their views up and get the money flowing in. I don't do that. So like I say, I just take, I'll capture a piece of the video and insert some text, and just so it kind of is eye capturing, and maybe crank up the color in a bit, something like that, just so it's, oh wow, okay, I'll click on that. It's just, it's a blah. So yeah, I do make my own thumbnails. Number 6, who made my intro, outro? Well, for a long time, I made my own intro, outro. And then a fellow by the name of Sawatsky, I had noticed just through some mutual friends on Facebook that he had a drone. And that he had actually done a drone video shoot of the big tree, which is, what would that be, 1 mile from my place. So that big tree, which is kind of a land location between Winnipeg and Brandon, or between, you can pretty much count off the minutes to the tree. It's just a way of a demarcation. Anyway, it's come to represent kind of Bagot, and when you have something, you kind of want to brand it, and you want to have an image that's associated with that brand. So that's how I came up with that. Anyway, I asked him if I could asked him for the permissions to use that drone footage, and I used that drone footage. I don't think I'm going to stop using that drone footage. Matter of fact, I did ask him recently if he could do a winter shoot of that tree for me. So he said he would, when we got some good weather, and we're waiting for some good weather to come down the pipe. Something really cool would be is if I had my own drone, which maybe I'll save my pennies and get some, because I notice on a lot of the more successful channels, let's just say successful channels, that they are using a lot of drone footage these days. And where in the past you had to use a crane and that big crane shoot, that big boom shoot, and now you can have a drone, and you can have a drone for a really good drone. I mean, a really good drone for like $1,000. A shitty drone for a couple $100. So I think those are always coming down in price. So yeah, maybe if I save my pennies and somebody likes me, maybe they'll help me get one. I don't know. 7, final question. Do you think you'll ever leave? Do I think I will ever leave YouTube? I will leave a lot of things. I'll leave a lot of things like Facebook, social media in general. Those kind of things tend to frustrate me and irritate me. Just because they tend to be narcissistic and a lot of people looking for little ego boosts. YouTube for me is not any kind of an ego boost. It's a way for me to connect with my friends, and as of late, I've gathered more new friends and made close relationships with those people. And I would like nothing more than to continue to have those relationships and nurture those relationships for years to come. If we can ever do something unique together, like some kind of a group project or a group, I wouldn't say competition, but just competition would be the bad word, because in competition you tend to think there's a winner and a loser. And this would be more of a challenge, something like that. A challenge to make the ultimate, God, I don't know, mousetrap, whatever. Because a lot of my friends, me included, we have different skill levels from other people. Probably if it was cooking, my skill level would be higher than others, and if it was metal fab, it'd be lower than others. If it was woodworking, it would be lower than others. If the skill was cutting my 2-acre yard, then it would be higher than others. It's just all relative, really. But yeah, do I think I'll ever leave? No, I'm not going to leave. I may slow down the output of videos, which would be difficult to do since I only put out one every week or two. Sometimes I get it on a roll, I'll put out a couple. Just depends how I'm feeling. But yeah, I won't ever really stop. Like I said, I've been going at it for 8 years. I'm not going to stop now. I enjoy it too much. It's a great creative outlet for me. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Well, the drinking part, I do that, but not so much right now. So, it's a lot of fun. I don't plan to leave. Well, I'm going to nominate 3 people. One guy I have nominated before for a cooking challenge, and the bastard turned me down. So I'm nominating him for this, 805 Road King, or just Road King. I just call him Road King, but 805 Road King. you are nominated. I will, in the description, I'll put a list of all the questions, and it'll be easier for you to grab onto them and write them down and answer them, and you know, whatever you gotta do, rehearse your answers. I just speak off the cuff. So somebody new to YouTube, who's I think he's great. I enjoy his videos. He's just catching on to it, and you know, he's figuring the format on which to hold his camera and stuff like that, and he's really getting into it, and he's an interesting guy to listen to. His name's Ian Matthews. So Ian Matthews, you are also nominated. And another guy who's been a friend of mine for a couple of years now, I guess, as well. And he's been making videos for a fairly long time. And his name is Malcolm of Lincoln. So those are my three choices. Road King, 805 Road King, Ian Matthews, and Malcolm of Lincoln. You're all nominated. I'd like you to do it. I mean, you're not forced into doing it, but you know, have some fun with it, like I do and like everyone else does. You know, you guys, we all want to hear about your story and what you do, and you know, sometimes, always, you'll watch someone's video, you'll pick something up out of it. You know, I'll watch Robert Nerd's video, I'll watch Jason Andrews' video. Like, geez, I could do it that way. Why don't I do it that way? That's a far more intelligent way to do it. You always pick up something. So guys, when you're doing it, the answers you give could be enlightening for somebody. Could give somebody the answer they've been looking for, you know, as far as, you know, what do you film with, thumbnails, etc., etc. That's it, guys. I got crap to do. It snowed here again last night, and it blew all night, so I've got some snow blowing to do. So that's it. My 7 questions are done. Good night, guys.
I got a question for you. I got a question